What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So today's video is going to be talking about the property that we just closed on Thursday. It is now Saturday evening, about 8:15. This is actually the third closing that we had this year, which is really exciting, and our second best profit in the last 8 months, which is really exciting too, because we had a really rough end to 2022. I set very conservative goals this year for myself because we were going into 2023 in a very, very choppy real estate market. So at the beginning of the year, I set a goal to flip 6 houses, and it feels really good. Not even a full 3 months into 2023, I'm already halfway through that goal. So we're going to keep it going this year. Total profit on this property was $26,825, but I'm going to break down absolutely everything. Not just the profit, but also profit per day, annualized cash on cash return, which is a great way to see if you had a good return on your investment. We're also going to talk about some of the expenses, how we acquired the property, what it was like selling this property on the market. Lately, we've actually been doing a lot of buy and relist, and what I mean by relist is less than $5,000 in renovation, which is like a very safe and conservative flip, just because there's not a whole lot that can go wrong if you're not putting in more than $5,000 in on the property. But with that being said, these are also a lot harder to find, because if you think about it, if you only have to put $5,000 into a property, there's a lot of people that are interested. It's not like there's like any of these houses in the last 6 months that we bought, they could have easily just went traditional financing on the property. And a lot of the times we get these properties that are only able to go cash because they're in such bad condition. But this just goes to show that you just have to be consistent, and it's always a timing game with these sellers. Like, they could have been reached out to 10, 20 times, but if you catch them at the right time as a buyer and they're ready to sell, maybe they had a rough day, maybe they lost their job that specific day and they need the money fast, and you're the first person to call them, that's how we lock up a lot of these deals. So for this specific deal that I'm going to talk about, it was in Queen Creek. This was an on-market deal. They originally listed this property at $550,000 at like the worst possible time last year. I believe they listed it in September. They then price dropped it to $475,000, and then they price dropped it to $450,000, and they left it at $450,000 for quite some time. And this is very similar to the first property we bought this year. It was the same situation. They price dropped, and then we finally just got them down to what we needed. But this house, I think, could have sold no problem if they price dropped it one more time. I don't know if it was the just like poor skills from the listing agent that this specific seller had, because we came in and we offered them $372,000. Now, if you think about that, from $450,000 to $372,000, they may not have gotten any offers at $450,000, but for you as a listing agent, you should most certainly at least try the market and price drop that house at least another $25,000 before you take a $75,000 under list price offer from someone. No matter what it was, like we were cash, yes. We were a quick close, yes. We were as is, yes. But regardless, if this house was price dropped to $425,000, they would have gotten it under contract. So we bought this property January 31st, 2023 for a purchase price of $372,000. Cash to the close on this was an additional $1,527, which basically paid for some HOA dues, our title and escrow fees, and any like prepaid HOA stuff, county taxes, stuff like that. And we had a renovation budget of $3,000 on this property, which is essentially just a relist, because a relist is you buy and then automatically relist it within a couple days. So we actually stayed on budget pretty well with this. And we had an ARV when we bought this at $372 of listing it at $419,500. And here's some of the renovations. The Amazon stuff was, I believe, the cabinet handles for every single cabinet in the house, which was like 50, 60 cabinet handles. We didn't paint the cabinets. We didn't refinish them. We just simply put black hardware on them, and that was it. We replaced every single carpet that we saw, which was in the 3 bedrooms, and I'll show you guys all the pictures. And then we replaced in the living room as well. We didn't do anything else with the original flooring. We just simply changed the carpet because they had pets in there, and it was run down, not gonna lie. We spent $360 in landscape. This was $280 $80 for an original cleanup just to get it in shape to relist, and then $80 right before we closed on the property as a gesture to the buyer, like we cleaned up the property. We painted a room and we painted the garage and we did some baseboard touch-ups for $430. We had a deep clean in the house for $140. Our photos were $135, and then everything down here you guys see was during the escrow process. So essentially, photos and above was our renovation, and then everything AC repair, GFCI, barbecue repair, and roof repair were all during the escrow process. These were some of the inspection requests that they had us or asked for. We replaced an AC van, which was $420. We replaced 2 GFCI outlets that were not tripping. We replaced the barbecue ignition switch, which was not the outdoor barbecue ignition switch, which was built into the house. So that was $150 with the service call and the actual material. And then we had a roof repair, which was just maintenance roof repairs for $595. So our total costs renovations was $4,233. Without any of these inspection repairs, we would have been right on our $3,000 or right around there. Our holding costs are relatively cheap compared to other flippers because we buy internally. We don't have hard money on it, so we're very fortunate with that. Insurance was $168. We had water and trash $106, electric bill of $80, and we had a gas bill of $139, which is pretty expensive, honestly. Total holding costs was $493. Renovations $4,233. Holding costs $493. We add all this up. The reason why the right here the closing costs on the sell end was so expensive is because we got an offer. Okay, so let's take it a step back here. I apologize for this. We listed this property at $424,000, $424,500. It was a little bit above what we thought we were going to list it for, but the market started picking up a little bit when we did list it. We ended up getting like a handful of showings the first week, and we got an offer at $435,000, which was above our list price, but then they brought us back down because they asked for $12,000 in seller concessions. So it was basically net to us like $423,000 offer, which was $1,500 short of our actual list price, and we were very happy with that. We accepted that offer almost immediately on the property. I feel like they got a great deal as well. In a good market, this house would sell for $500 all day long. It just happened to be a poor time. So we spent $43,000 essentially, and then the inspection. So I'm gonna say $3,000. And we relisted this property $25,000 under what they had listed it for literally like weeks before we bought this property. So that just goes to show, like, if they price dropped it even 1 or 2 more times, I guarantee you they would have gotten offers in the 400s. Yes, they may have been financed offers, but this house was in great shape. It wasn't going to be subject to close on any repairs. But the listing agent just didn't price drop it, or at least didn't suggest them to price drop it. So they didn't get any traction. They didn't get any offers. They didn't get any showings. And we came in with the $372 cash, and they're like, we'll just take it, whatever. There's no other showings going on, but it's because they had it priced so high. We relisted it. We saw the ARV, and we relisted it. We took advantage of that. Everything worked out very smooth with this transaction. It was a great close, very easy timeline on it. $435 sale price, which is what I talked about, and the closing costs are so high because I had their $12,000 concessions in there. We paid a 2.5% broker fee for the buyer broker. I pay 1% for myself, and then my miscellaneous closing costs, which totaled $30,000. $542. You subtract that from the sale price, and that gives us a total profit of $26,825 on a 44-day timeline, which makes it $596 a day for this property. And then one last thing, I apologize. Actually, this annualized cash-on-cash return is actually incorrect. I just did the math on it. So basically, how you find the cash-on-cash return, which is to figure out if you had a good ROI on your investment, is you take the daily profit, which is 596 times 365. So if we had this money invested and we were making this amount of money for the entire year rather than just 44 days, we would have made $217,540 on our original investment of $378,000. Now, how you get the original investment is how much it costs to buy the property, your holding costs, and then also your renovations. So it was $373,500, $500 in holding costs, and then we had an additional $4,000 in renovations, which was $378,000. So we're going to divide that by $378,000, and that gives us an annualized cash-on-cash return of 57% on our money, which is really, really good. So that's just a great way to do it. Like, generally, if you have a cash-on-cash return from a rental property of above 10%, that's pretty solid. So for us to have that at 57%, granted, you're not always like it's a very generalized thing. It's only used to, you can't really compare flips to rental properties because there's a lot more that goes into it. But what you can compare is flips with other flips to see, oh yeah, this was a good return on our investment. And it's a good way to figure out if, for example, you had, it's just a great way to take your profit, but also take your profit and how fast you made that profit. So it doesn't only take in your original profit, because we could have made $26,000, but it could have taken us half a year. That would have been much different opportunity cost as opposed to a month and a half making $26,000. So I appreciate you guys watching. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Actually, before we end, let me show you guys some photos. We didn't do anything to the exterior. We didn't do anything to this. The only thing we did in this photo was do the carpet, and this is one of the places we replaced the carpet. Carpet in this room, no paint. This was already painted. Nothing to the bathrooms. We did add those cabinet handles you guys see right there. Cabinet handles right here. The washer and dryer were already there. We did paint the garage white. Washer and dryer, like I said, the fridge was there. We didn't buy the fridge. We did cabinet handles in here. But yeah, this house pretty much looked exactly like what we did to it. Like literally the only thing was even the backyard. The backyard was pretty much the exact same. So we didn't do anything to the backyard besides clean it up and relist the property. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, we are very happy with this one. It was pretty straightforward. We actually closing on 2 more properties this week. So we actually are staying pretty busy. We're being a little bit more conservative as well. We're not, last year at this time, I think we had probably 12 to 15 properties. This is actually going to be our 4th and our 5th property. So we're being safer with them. We're being very conservative, but hopefully we can still turn a good profit and do a little bit more volume this year and just keep kind of pushing through with the consistency. That's my biggest thing is this year. My biggest goal is just to be as consistent as possible with everything. Thank you guys. Drop a like, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys.